Okay, we're going to set the overload on this unit. There's an overload resistor and overload relay. It's going to bring the current up. Right there, the relay just tripped. And a little bit into the red zone, so that's a pretty good trip point. Back this down again. We'll bring it up. Watch that relay. 2 amps, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4. Just clicked in. Okay, so cool. Alright, overload set. Okay, so we're going to test the arc suppressor now. Go ahead. Cycle. And you can see the green lights on. We'll wait for the second cycle. Pause the short. Okay, and this time we're going to short it and watch the grid meter. So we're on grid meter, short, and arc suppressor fires. Hit it again, please. Now this is the mandrel. If I can get in there and short that. And now perimeter. So arc suppressor's good. Okay, now we're going to test the anti-tie-down feature. Now we're going to test the stop button function. Stop button, okay. Now the doors. Our indicator lights, our line lights. Now the door. Okay, now we're going to test the door switches. So green lights out. Door switch tight. Green lights back on. Door switch. Green lights off. Green lights back on, and the back door. And come over here, and lights out. Okay, so now we're going to test the double cycle switch. Had it set pretty low at about 30 psi, and I'm going to manually actuate this valve. Put it up here for contacts. Nice and smooth under low pressure, and you can hear the linkage for the tuning controls. PSI, nice and smooth. Okay, we're going to do a test here with radio frequency on second cycle. So, not sure if you can see the timer settings, but second cycle we got 1 second of low power, 5 seconds of full power, and 1.2 seconds of cool. Our expressor set at 5.5. Our power on our second cycle is 50%. And so let's do some seals here. Mike, can you bring me that tape measure you have? Tape measure you have? Nice swing. Back. One time ahead. Okay, this time we don't have any die hooked up for the first cycle, but we'll put that power at 10% so we get some meter swing on the first, and let's increase to 3 seconds so we can actually see it. Okay. First cycle, drop out, look at that swing, ooh, so nice. First cycle, second cycle, nice. Okay, cool. Alright, let's try a little bit bigger die. The die plate I've got here. This guy is a little over 4 by 8 about. We're still at 50%. Back down my tuning some. I'm not going to be able to see it from here. Okay. Let's give it a try. Look at that, tuning in. Woof. So nice. Let's see if that was enough to seal it though. Okay, let's bump up the power. Okay, here's one at 70% power. Wow. It's about 8 by 4. Alright, so we're at 70%. We got 2 seconds of low power. Not sure you can pick that up. 5 seconds of full power. And so we're going to watch this puppy swing. Okay. First cycle, nothing dialed up. Here we go for second. Whoa, look at that thing. Nailed it. Okay, here's the heater disconnect box. Single phase. You can see you got a couple chokes and capacitors in there for the 230, and then a couple for the thermocouple. A couple more chokes with capacitors. It's got a couple plugs they put on there, and there's a contactor down there and a second contactor up here, just the way that they were using it, I guess, with their thermolator. And then this is still intact. The wires are wired up behind it for the green light and the ready light. The wires are curled up, but that's, you know, so with the breaker for the heaters and the disconnect box, that's what we got on this machine. Kind of a handy box there, hinged on the bottom. So okay, cool. And here's the overall machine. These stop buttons right now, they're above the bed plate. Start, stop, push button boxes. If you want them below, you can just move this bracket to under this plate and attach to that bolt that's on the other side, and then they'll be below the bed plate. It's a little more comfortable for my height. New filters and regulators, gauges on the pneumatics. Line indicator lights. You got a low power setting for first or second cycle. Breakers for your control circuit and your aux compressor circuit. There's a handy little covers with quarter turn screws. Let's get the back here. And if you want to move these push button boxes around, I tried to give you some flexibility with those by leaving some extra cable curled up. If you want to move these two to a different position that works better for production. Oh wow. Not focusing. Okay, so here's your production counter, your aux compressor, Tune seal, you want to leave that in seal. In tune it runs through low power constantly. Not low power, but preheat really. Low power actually refers to the delta Y switching that's accomplished through this switch. This preheat runs through the resistors for a reduced power, and if you throw it in tune, it'll stay in preheat the whole time. You got your dwell timers, your weld timers, your pre-seal, and your preheat timer. Power on. Okay. I think that sums it up.